Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to jump on and do a quick video. I'm just going to do a basic DIY on how to do one of these, a clear cover that I made for my A6 Hobonichi A6. So it's basically similar to this cover, the A5 cover that I have from Jet Pens. This is the Midori cover. And they were out of stock in the A5 size, so I just DIY'd one with a little cover. So if you want to see how to do this, then just stay tuned. Just a quick little 10-minute DIY. So I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, I just wanted to jump on here really quick and do a quick tutorial. I just got this Hobonichi A6. This is the A6 size. And I currently have the A5 in one of these plastic Midori covers, which I really like. It's nice, thick, clear plastic, and you can slip scrapbook paper in there. It's got like a pen holder, but the A6 size is out of stock on Jet Pens. So what I'm going to do right now temporarily is take this, this page cover here, and I'm going to make an old school notebook cover to fit the A6. So I thought I'd quickly show you guys how I'm going to do that. So my plan is to cut this open, and I'm going to use my fuse tool to just make, I don't know if anyone remembers the templates we used to do for those brown paper bag type covers. So that's what I'm going to make using this, this page protector and my fuse tool. So to start, here, let me get a better angle for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, I don't know about you, but I am kind of an instant gratification person, so I'm not even going to measure or anything like that. I'm just going to wing it. So to give myself as much room for error as possible, I am going to cut off, I'm going to cut off this closed end so that I can open this flat, and I'm going to try to work with it that way. That way I'll have as much plastic as I possibly can have. Now I had someone asking me how I made the covers that are in my traveler's notebook, and I kind of did something similar to this, but instead I used two of these, and instead of cutting off this end, this is the end that I used to make the spine, because I feel like this is about a ½ inch wide, and when I did overlapped them and then just used my fuse tool to seam them together, they worked pretty well. So basically what I did is closed off that, or cut off that closed off end, and I'm going to cut right along here where it's also closed. Basically just giving myself a really flat sheet of plastic that I can use my fuse tool to customize. So that now I have the page protector. I know it's really hard to see on this white surface, but now I have the page protector and I can open it up flat like so. And I'm just going to trim it to the width of the notebook, maybe leaving just a small margin around the top and bottom, and then I'm going to create a pocket on each side like so. And I'll fuse myself here and maybe a little bit of a seam here. So I'll fuse the line at the bottom, at the top, and a little bit of a seam here. And I'll have just created a pocket to slip those covers in, just to create a, so I hope that makes sense for everybody what I'm gonna do, but I'll show you. I just wanna see, I think I may cut off a little bit just to make it easier to slip in, because right now, currently open to flat, it covers the whole thing. And I think I'd like to leave maybe a quarter to a ½ inch. So I think I'm just going to cut off just a little bit more of this. And I have my fuse tool warming up while I'm doing this. I'm going to use the straight tip, I think, instead of the one that creates the little bit of perforation. But I'll show you that here in just a second. So here is the sheet protector all opened up. I'm just going to place the notebook here in the center. Let's see, let's measure that out and see. I think that looks really good. Again, so I'm just going to seam right here along the bottom, along these three sides, creating a pocket. That's gonna allow me to slip the notebook right in there, and then I'll trim off the excess. So I will show you how I'm gonna do that here just in a minute. Okay, so here I have the sheet protector. It's all opened up. This is the seam that's naturally just sealed, what would be the fold. I'm gonna use that for the spine. So I'm just gonna show you again what I'm gonna do. Place the planner with the spine on that seam. My plan is to fold over these edges, and I'm gonna create a closed edge on all three sides here, creating a pocket to slip the planner into. So I think I want to leave about an inch in the center, a half inch on each side to make it easier to slip the planner in. So that's gonna be my plan here. So I think I'm actually gonna cut this down just a teeny bit. Just to make it easier to leave that gap. I know it might be a little bit difficult to see because of the way I'm recording. It's not really bright and there's kind of a shadow, but okay. Get this out of here. Let's just check these. Like I said, I'm not doing any kind of exact measurement, so just kind of quick and dirty, right? Instant gratification. Okay. So I'm gonna take my fuse tool, and first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a bit of a crease, leaving from this crease to the edge here. I'm gonna leave about a half, I think I'm gonna leave more like an inch. And I'm using the measurements on my mat because these are 1 inch squares. That'll help me create that. See if I'm kind of in frame here. Line that up. Doesn't need to be perfect, but I know at some point if it's not pretty close it will bother me, so. I'm gonna take my metal ruler and put it right along that edge, leaving just enough room here to run my fuse tool right along this edge. Hopefully this is warmed up long enough. And I'm still not perfect at this. It definitely takes a steady hand and sometimes more patience than I have. But I suppose practice makes perfect. Okay, let's see if I did that well enough. So now I've created a closed edge here. Yep, that looks pretty darn good to me. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I have a cover on order. But I like the idea of this because it creates kind of a cover or a pocket which you can decorate. And if you've follow me on Instagram or you've seen some of my posts, I actually made a shaker one of these, which was really cute. Something I kind of missed, having like a shaker dashboard. But I am all in on the Hobonichi camp now, so I want to make sure that I can still have that fun, creative, decorative planner experience. So this allows me to change up my cover of my Hobonichi without much effort. I can just create dashboards and slide them in here, which I like that option. Let's see if I have that fully sealed now. And let's slide, yes. So now I'm just gonna do the top and the bottom. And then I should have a pocket that I can slide this into. Yep. So now I'll just do the same thing along the top. and along the bottom, and then I will cut off the excess. So I'm actually going to use this very bottom edge. Well, I didn't cut this perfectly, so I'm just gonna use the straight edge here on my mat using one of these lines to follow. I hope that's making sense to make a straight edge. Because that's why I left myself lots of room to play with in case it wasn't perfect. I could cut off the excess. So try to make sure I'm still in frame so you can see what I'm doing. Just putting this in here to gauge. Now I think I'll actually leave the planner in there to help me. Be as close to that edge as possible. Honestly, might be easier just to take this out. Okay, and we will. So it's really hard to see, but I sealed those edges, and now I'm going to trim the excess and see how well the planner fits in there. Okay, a little bit better light. You can see what I did is I just kind of sealed these 3 edges. So now I'm gonna cut off this excess. And hope for the best. Like I said, this is just kind of a cheap way with stuff I already had to recreate a cover that I found on Jet Pens that this size is sold out, so I hate waiting, and I figured I would try it out. So here, let's see how this fits in here. Oh, careful, trying not to crease it. And there you have it.